What's up, YouTube? I'm back with another video, and today we're going to be reacting to Kanye West turns down a $100 million Apple deal to release Donda 2 on his own streaming service device, Stem. Okay, so we finna get in this, man. Kanye West, he did this strange thing where it's like he's not trying to release on no platforms. But I mean, it's not really strange, I guess. He's trying to, like, get the full amount of money or something. You know what I mean? He's trying to show it, like, make it a thing to do it like on a service like that rather than the companies like Spotify, YouTube, and what else, Apple Music and all that. So we finna see what's he all got to say about this for real. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below, man.
Check it out now. God damn it. Now, Kanye West, man. Now, Kanye West definitely, if you ask me, is a visionary, all right? He's pushing the envelope when it comes to music. Now, I don't know what he got going on with Skeet and Kim Kardashian. All that cuckold stuff, that's beyond me.
Yeah, Kanye, you might as well just give it up, bro. I get he was trying to get his family back, but it's gonna come to a point where he's just gonna be taking it too far, and it's kind of already at that point, honestly.
However, what he's doing right now in tech, fashion, and music is unheard of. All right? Now, if y'all want a whole breakdown, y'all gotta go watch my podcast off the record. I'm gonna do an episode kind of dedicated around it. But I'm gonna give you out the simple news. Basically, Kanye West is in a very unique position, okay? He is one of the rare artists that actually owns his shit, right? And by the way, he don't own his previous masters yet because remember Def Jam ain't trying to sell it back to him. But he owns his current stuff going
I heard
forward.
a lot of stuff about Def Jam, like they really be on some grimy stuff kind of. But I heard Dirk actually got out of his deal not too bad whenever he tried to leave them or whatever. But at first they was like trying to do some weird stuff.
Forward, and he gets to decide where it could go, where it could live. Now, when artists usually get to that point of their career, the industry already ate them up, chewed them up, digested them, and shattered them out, okay? They're usually irrelevant. Kanye West could still garner the attention of everybody in hip hop. Now, he owns his stuff.
Yeah, Kanye West is different, bro. Like he the richest rapper of all time, and he's the best rap artist of all time. Like to me, not to sound cliche to like an old head or anything, because I'm not even really an old head, but I think Tupac is the best rapper of all time. But Kanye is the best rap artist of all time. If y'all know the difference, then you'll get why I'm saying that. But yeah, that's just my opinion on that.
He could dictate and actually make changes to how music is received in hip hop. Okay? Now, how is he
Yeah, he
doing
got
this?
huge influence. Like Kanye's influence is huge, bro.
Well, down to two, he's deciding that it won't be on streaming platforms. Won't be on Apple Music, won't be on Spotify, Pandora, won't be on Google Play, won't be on even Amazon Music. Now, he's coming out with this, like, kind of like player called STEM. And he says, if you want it to listen to my music, you got to go listen to it on this particular item. Now,
Kanye's so consistent too, bro. He been through so many like different sagas within his career. A lot of different like projects. Each project was like not really similar. He always came up with a whole new like theme and all that. Like he really never missed for it. The only one I didn't really like was the Jesus King project. I feel like that's for a lot of people. But other than that, he literally has no misses like throughout his discography when it comes to overall projects.
he actually turned down $100 million Apple deal, which was a streaming deal that also included some live events, including the Donda 2 live streaming event, and also like some exclusivity stuff that he was gonna do with them, but he turned it down for his own personal STEM thing to be the only place you could get his music. Now, this actually kind of cross parallels into, this whole thing about, Rogan recently, where people were so mad and people were like, yo, artists are going to pull their stuff from Spotify. Here's the thing about that. In reality, most of these artists don't own their masters. And in reality, most of these artists don't control where their music goes.
That's
Kanye
facts.
West is one of the
A
rare.
lot of them, they literally just puppets for their labels. So they have no control over, anything with their music for the most part. It's not, a lot of times, not even like the full creative process. So that's why a lot of the music be sounding the same, like in the mainstream radio and all that, because the sound they want control. That's gonna get the popular thing. You know what I mean? So that's why it's not as much versatility as there used to be, unless you count like obviously different artists that's like completely different, but when it's like ones that are similar in that lane, a lot of them, have the same type of formula for their songs, if that makes sense.
Artist that right now controls where his music goes. Kanye West is, put like this, Drake at this point can control where his music goes. You get me? There's no big artist, okay, that's still active and relevant that could control where the music goes. Now Jay-Z could, but Jay-Z's not really active and relevant in the game in terms of putting out music constantly. Kanye is. Think about everybody else. The
Kanye.
Weeknd can't, okay? The Weeknd can't. Ed Sheeran can't. Post Malone can't. All these other people who are huge in music cannot control where the music goes. Okay, not
Yeah,
really
they
tell.
definitely can. All them people he named, they definitely cannot. They make straight up, songs you could tell just made for radio play and all that. Not to say they don't have good songs, because they obviously do, but you can tell how the sound is. Like, it's made for radio play and all that.
Taylor Swift's a little bit different because she's in a completely different situation. She could, but Kanye
Wait, what
West,
did he say?
because she's huge in music, cannot control where the music goes. Okay, now I believe Taylor Swift's a little bit different because she's in a completely different situation. She could, but
Taylor
Kanye
Swift.
West, being the
Mm.
maverick that he is making the
Ironic how
stance.
he always was having issues with Taylor Swift, and there's some of the few who are huge that can actually control their music. Then, pretty funny there.
And this is what he said on one of his Instagram posts. He said, STEM player trended. Go to STEM player, blah, 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 to be a part of the revolution. I feel that same feeling when I moved to New York to make it in music. I didn't know it was going to happen, but I knew I had to move. After 10 albums, after being on the 10 contracts, I turned down $100 million Apple deal. No one could pay me to be disrespected. We set our own price for our art. Tech companies made music practically free. So if you don't do merch, sneakers, tours, you don't eat. Jay-Z made Tyler and fake media attacked him. Well, in the words of my big brother, come and get me. I'm willing to die standing because I ain't living on my knees no more. God, please cover me. I run this company 100%. I don't got to ask no permission. This is our second generation STEM player. We got more working on. I feel like how I felt in the first episode of the documentary. Now, I got to say to Kanye, this is a brave move. Because first and
So there,
foremost,
Kanye
a lot of
definitely
people
got some guts, what I'm saying, to do something like that.
usually pick the bag over the integrity. And obviously, people usually be like, nah, I wouldn't pick money over my integrity. Well, you're not turning down $100 million. You say, fuck your integrity for the moment. It's a reason.
But Kanye is a billionaire, bro. So I mean, that is still a lot of money. But ain't this dude worth like 6 billion? But you should, like, no matter what, that doesn't change the situation. Like, you should never take money over your integrity or your honor. Like, you should always put that first before anything, honestly. So, Kanye's still doing the right thing, but I do, want y'all to remember, obviously, he's a billionaire, a multi billionaire, actually.
Why people sign record contracts. They usually complain at some point that these record contracts are slave contracts, but they want the back. They want the $10 million. They want the five, whatever it is that's being
Literally
offered.
sell out
They
for
want the
it.
back. Kanye turned down $100 million, and granted, he's worth over $1 billion, but he
That's what,
turned down
yep.
a lump sum of money. And
Donda.
honestly, I just gotta say, I am very, very proud of this guy. I'm watching this guy, again, put his money where his mouth is. He's trying to change the status quo. Now, I'm not gonna say it's gonna work because these labels are invested in getting new artists into situations that are going to be record labels, right? Or record contracts, actually. So at the end of the day, there's not much that's gonna change when it comes to that. Anyway, Kanye West,
That's true.
he basically turned down $100 million to put his stuff exclusively on his own device, and Apple don't want to work with him right now. They pulled the deal, and his streaming, live streaming for Donda 2, the whole event is gonna have to be done elsewhere because they don't want to work with him because he's trying to build his own stuff. Ironic, ain't it? Right? Make sure you guys tune into this episode or this week's episode of Off the Record. I will be addressing it. The name of that podcast will be called The Information About Misinformation. Okay? Get in the comments, guys. Like and subscribe to Watch Academics.
Yeah, that was a good video. I can cap. Kanye, like I said, definitely a real one, though, man. He's showing, like, you can do something else other than do what these companies say you have to do. But obviously, it is a unique situation since he does own his masters compared to a lot of the other artists and rappers and all that. But this is just something to keep in mind, like, moving forward, because nowadays, like, the internet is way bigger than it was, so people can build their own, like, fan base and following without, having to get, introduced with a record company and all that, and have them push their stuff. Obviously, you know, to reach a certain level, you usually would have to do that, but you know, there's people who didn't like sell out, like such as Montana 300. If y'all heard of him, he did do a lot of remixes. I ain't gonna lie, but bro, like could really rap, and he got a bag for. He probably got a lot. He probably got more money than a lot of rappers that like had a deal and all that or have a deal, because it's like all his own money. Like he don't have to really cut no shares and all that, no prices or pay anything back. You know, so it really is best to stay independent for real, unless you're really trying to reach some superstar level. But keep in mind, there's stuff that really come with that you know you won't know until you're in that situation. But y'all know how deep it get in the industry, but ain't nothing as it seems. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, that's the end of the video. Like I said, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Though. Remember, y'all stay positive and have a great rest of y'all day, man. Damn, my neck. But yeah, stay up, man. In times like these, bro, you always gotta keep your head positive. You know what I'm saying? But all right, y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all for sure.